Coming up, the mysterious case of the dead fish. How did it die and who could have done it?
A red-stained T-shirt left at a crime scene. Will squished-up raspberries help find the culprit? A major mango heist in the fruit shop. Can our clever detectives crack this inside job?
And the curious case of the hijacked cars. Solving the crime with solar power.
Solar power? How on earth would you solve a car hijacking with solar power?
You'll just have to wait and see, Steve.
Oh, but it sounds really exciting.
Yeah, you're right. But first up, let's head down to Jelena and Brandan's local fruit shop where something very suspicious is going on.
Mr. Humphrey said someone swiped his best mangoes. A whole tray is gone. Brandan and I had no idea it was so many. That's terrible. We're going to solve this crime, and we'll start by looking for clues. Keep your eyes peeled, Brandan. Ah, here's something. Over here. A squashed banana with a footprint. Yuck. But let's bag it anyway. And we'll head back to the lab for some banana analysis. We'll have this mystery solved by the end of the day.
Did you know that 2 bananas supply enough energy for 90 minutes of vigorous exercise? That's because they contain 3 different types of sugar, and those sugars create a super boost of instant energy.
So we're going to try and work out when the mangoes were stolen. Banana, please. And one of your shoes, please, Brandan. Oh, great. It's smelly, but it'll do. Press it down, like that. Whoops, sorry. There you go. Now we leave it and wait for it to go brown enough to match the banana from the crime scene. It's all mashed up, so it shouldn't take long. Okay, so that's 4 hours. And it's gone all brown and disgusting. But exactly the same as the one from the shop floor. So, now we know when the crime was committed. 4 hours before we found our sample. Let's head back to the shop and check the security tapes. We'll wind it back 4 hours. Okay, play forward. Look, it's one of the security guards. And he's taken a whole tray. Some security guard. But we can't make out who it is. Well, it could only be Jeremy, Alex, or Gregor. And I know just how to work out which one.
Did you know that expert investigators solve crimes by testing fruit? This banana was found at a crime scene. To work out exactly where it came from and what type of banana it is, forensic scientists take a small sample. They pop it into a bowl, mix it with a chemical, and then crush it up. Then they stain it and pop it onto a microscope slide. Now they're ready to see what the banana is made of under a microscope. Before long, they get a close-up look at the cells inside the fruit. With help from these experts, police can use evidence from the banana to help solve their crime. Just what they need to catch their culprit. That's incredible. I never thought you could solve a crime by looking at a fruit. Hey, Steve, have you got a banana today for lunch?
Yeah, I love them.
Mine looks like a good one.
Well, mine is really brown and squishy.
Oh,
yuck.
gross.
Just like the one Jelena and Brandan found in the fruit shop.
True, but, you know, they're using theirs to solve a crime.
Well, you could use yours to solve a crime too, Shay.
Really? How?
Well, it'd be a crime if I had to eat this squishy one, and yours could help solve it.
Still don't get it. How?
Like this.
Steve?
We've been called in to solve the case of the missing mangoes. Security footage showed that they were stolen by one of the security guards. And now we're about to find out which one it was. We're going to sneak a peek at the security guard's shoes. Okay, here's the locker room. Whoever stole the mangoes stepped on a banana during their getaway. So let's look for traces of banana. Jeremy's first. Ugh, chewing gum. Mint flavour. So it wasn't Jeremy. He's in the clear. Okay, Alex is next. Ugh, what's that? Doggy poo? Ugh. But it means poor old Alex is off the hook. So it must have been, yeah, banana. And it matches our sample. Gregor, you're busted.
He sure is, guys. Gregor the security guard is a mango maniac. So much so, he made off with a whole box. Unluckily for him, an encounter with a banana left our detectives a vital clue. Then clever forensic work and the distinctive chemistry of bananas brought about Gregor's downfall. Bananas, like lots of other fruit, go brown when they come into contact with oxygen in the air. By working out how long that took, our clever detectives could work out when the theft occurred.
Mr. Humphrey was able to get back his stolen mangoes, and as a reward, he's treated us to a taste test. They are delicious. He did offer us bananas, but funnily enough, we've gone off them.
Yum, mango! So you ate my banana before Steve. I think it's only fair I get the mango.
Okay, fair enough. But hurry up because there's theft on a grand scale over at Annette's house and we don't want to miss a thing.
I love tinkering with model planes. Kip prefers cars. He's into them in a big way. Oh, poor Kip. Someone's stolen his whole collection. Who'd do such a thing? Maybe that new kid on the street, Dean. Jake, the car nut from 2 doors down? Or Otto, who lives at the end of the street. He's crazy about cars too. I've had a good idea. Follow me. We're going to lay down some bait and see if our thief bites. This is one of Dad's model cars. He says it's very valuable. Irresistible to a car thief. Let's take cover here. And when they come and steal it, we'll jump out and catch them in the act. No takers. It's been 10 minutes and still no action. Half an hour and nothing. This isn't working. What can we do? Hey, I've had another idea. Grab the car, Kip. We're gonna do some modifications. Time for a drive-by.
The world's weirdest car theft occurred in Romania in 2004. Twice in 1 month, a blind man stole a car and drove it away. He was arrested both times after crashing into trees.
Here's my plan. Listen up, Kip. The sun is going to hit a solar panel, which we'll use to drive our car along. With me so far? Okay, so here's the solar panel. We'll stick it on the roof and connect this little electric motor to the wheel. Okay, done. Looks pretty fabulous, even if I do say so myself. Now when we drive it past our suspects' houses, they won't be able to resist. Okay, let's see if my plan works. It's not brilliant, Sunshine, but it should be enough. Yep, we've got action. Those wheels are really spinning. Our car thief will soon be revealed.
This I have to see. I love the idea of solar-powered cars, especially cool-looking ones like this. Check that out. Not exactly sure how these solar panels work, though.
Let me demonstrate for you, Stephen. So this solar panel has tiny little silicon crystals inside it, and when you shine the torch on it like that, the silicon creates electricity, which flows along the wires and turns the little electric motor.
Aha. Oh, but there's just one problem.
What's that?
Well, the wheels aren't turning, Shay.
Oh, well, that must be because a torch like this doesn't have enough power. What you really need is the full force of the sun.
Aha. And I suppose Annette has factored that into her design?
Of course she has. Let's take a look.
Someone stole Kip's model car collection. We reckon it was one of the boys down the road, Dean, Jake, or Otto. So we've made a solar racer as bait to lure them into the open. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's hide. Wow, it's really moving. Right towards Dean's house. It's flown straight past. And no sign of Dean. So he's off our suspect list. Jake's house next. Oh, no Jake either. So he's in the clear too. Which only leaves Otto. Go, Solar Racer. Hello. He couldn't resist. The nerve. Not so fast, Otto. Give that back. The game is up. You've got some explaining to do.
Nice work, Annette and Kip. The way you harnessed the power of the sun to help catch your culprit was sheer genius. Your operation cleverly anticipated how a suspect would act. All it needed was for the guilty party to incriminate themselves. Fortunately, Otto had a very good reason for borrowing Kip's model car collection.
Okay, Otto. So, what's your story? Taking photos for a school art project? Likely story. How about you enter a portrait of yourself as the world's most unsuccessful car thief?
Jed and I love to go hiking around the lake. There's so much wildlife to see. Hey, Jed, careful. You're treading on a fish. Good heavens. A dead fish. Poor little thing. But how did it get from there to here? This is a mystery we've got to solve. Let's bag our fishy friend for further analysis. In you go. Right. Let's look around for clues. Paw prints. They look like cat's paws. Maybe it fished it out of the lake. Hey, there's more. These ones belong to a big water bird that could have fished it out too. Hey, over there. The fishing net. It's broken, but it could certainly have been used to catch our fish. So we've got 3 possible suspects. A cat, a water bird, or someone who fished it out with a net. To get to the bottom of this, we'll have to conduct a post-mortem.
One of the oldest dead fish ever found was discovered in China. The fossil fish was 530 million years old. The strange fish had no jaw, but it did have gills.
Come on, this'll do as our laboratory. First up, established time of death. Well, it's still pretty flexible, so it hasn't been dead long. Now, let's go get our gear. Okay, we've got everything we need to find out what happened. I'll get our subject out of the evidence bag. And the post-mortem can begin. Maybe there are some telltale marks. Nothing stands out. This is where our models will come in handy. If a cat caught the fish and carried it, there'd be bite marks, like this. Let's look. No, nothing. So I reckon the cat's off the suspect list. Now, if a bird did it, there'd be beak marks. Like this. Nothing like that. So that rules the water bird out too. Which leaves the net. How are we going to prove it? I think our post-mortem is going to have to dig deeper.
Sometimes medical machines are very helpful when it comes to solving mysteries like Holly and Jed's, especially when these mysteries involve people. Clever machines can even look inside our bodies, at our bones. Look at this computer image of a skeleton. The funny shape of the bones tells investigators that someone may have hurt their feet. And very close-up images can show whether a person's teeth might have been damaged, or maybe their spine was injured. With so many body parts, sometimes investigators need all the help they can get, especially when the mystery involved something that happened to a person. Wow, it's pretty tricky trying to work out something as complicated as the human body. I much prefer fish. Much simpler, that's all I'm saying.
And much smellier too.
Yeah, but look how elegant this fish skeleton is. Beautiful little interlocking bones.
Got a question for you, Steve.
Yeah?
How can a fish swim when it has such a bony skeleton?
It all comes down to this lightweight design, Shay. Here, touch these bones.
Do I have to?
Ooh, have a bit of a feel.
Gross. Oh, yeah, quite flexible, aren't they?
Exactly, they're flexible, so the fish can flex its body and swim fast. Light bones make for lightning fast fish.
I get it. So if a fish has big bones, it swims more slowly.
Precisely.
Fish bodies are a lot more complicated than I thought.
Which is exactly what Holly and Jed are finding.
Jed and I discovered a dead fish by the lake. Our first round of examinations ruled out a cat and a water bird as culprits. So we're taking our investigation further. Let's take another close look at the fish. Hey, why didn't we notice that before? There's something caught in the gills. Hold that up and I'll grab it. It looks like netting. Do you think? Let's check the fishing net. The weave matches. Someone must have used this net to catch the fish. Mystery solved.
Well done, team. The culprit was indeed the fisherman. In fact, it was our friend Joel. Unfortunately, the fish slipped out of that hole in his net. When he realised what had happened, Joel rushed back, but he couldn't find his catch. So he threw away his net in disgust. Our clever detectives were able to deduce what happened by a perfectly conducted post-mortem, just as real investigators do.
Oh, nice idea. Jed's prepared the fish for our lunch. Thanks. Whoa. On second thoughts, a decent burial is a much better idea.
I agree. And I think it's about time you got rid of your fish too, Steve. It's starting to smell a bit fishy, if you know what I mean.
Maybe you're right, Shay. But speaking of fishy, Jessica's about to find out that one of her friends has been up to some fishy business in her room.
What a mess.
That's the trouble with sleepovers. My bedroom's been totally trashed. This is a serious crime. Don't worry, Teddy. I'll find out who did it. Back in your favourite spot. What's this? Someone's shirt, covered in huge red stains. Looks like raspberry. Smells like raspberry. In fact, it probably is raspberry from yesterday's muffins. This is not just a stained shirt, it's vital evidence. All three of my sleepover buddies had muffins, and come to think of it, they were all wearing white shirts, so they're my prime suspects. Penina, Charlotte, and Sachin. Yep, time to interrogate. Okay, you three, who trashed my room and left this shirt? Sachin? Penina? Charlotte? No? Well, you can't all be innocent. This red-stained shirt must be the key to finding out which one's guilty.
Did you know that ancient Persians used red pomegranate fruit to dye their clothes? The acids in pomegranates help the colour stick to natural fibres, and the bitter tannins made the colours last longer.
I know. I'll take a sneak peek at their shirts. Sachin first. Yep, raspberry stains. That's yesterday's shirt for sure. Whoa. And the day before that. And probably the day before that. So Sachin's off the suspect list. It definitely wasn't his white shirt on the bed. That leaves Charlotte and Penina. But which one? Oh, that's right. Penina's got really sensitive skin. She can only wear cotton shirts, not synthetic ones. Hey, if I can find out if the stained shirt is cotton or not, I'll know who's guilty. I'm going to put this whole mess to the test.
I can't tell the difference between a natural fibre and a synthetic one.
Well, you could look at the label.
I'm going to be cheating, Shay. No, this magnifying glass will show me.
I think you might need something a bit more powerful than that. I'll give you a hint. OK, so synthetic fibres like nylon will be more even because they're made on a machine. And natural fibres like cotton, they're more likely to shrink if you put them in a hot clothes dryer.
Oh, why?
Well, cotton fibres get cracks in them if they get too hot.
You're a real expert, Shay.
No, I think that title belongs to Jessica.
Someone trashed my bedroom. The only clue to who it was is a raspberry-stained shirt. I've already ruled out Sachin, which leaves Penina and Charlotte as my prime suspects. OK, I've got some old clothes. I need a synthetic shirt. Yep, that'll do. And cotton one? Great. Now for the clever bit. The way these raspberries stain is going to help me work out whether my crime scene shirt is synthetic or cotton. Squish them up and stick some on my sample of synthetic shirt. And some on the cotton. OK. Now to check out the stains. The cotton one's hardly spread at all, compared to the one from my bedroom. What about the synthetic sample? Yep, the raspberry juice is spread out much more, just like the one from the crime scene. So it is synthetic, which means Penina is innocent because she can't wear synthetic fabric. The bedroom trasher must have been Charlotte.
You're right, Jessica. Before the sleepover, Charlotte gorged on muffins and wiped her hands all over her T-shirt. Later, after trashing Jessica's bedroom, she made the vital mistake of leaving her t-shirt behind. The difference between synthetic and natural fibres and the way they absorb stains is just the sort of incriminating evidence real detectives use to catch criminals. Natural fibres, like wool and cotton, have a scaly surface pattern. Synthetic fibres, like polyester, have smooth surfaces and take up dye far more evenly.
Right, as punishment for her mess-making crimes, Charlotte gets to clean up my mess, while I get her spot on the couch. Happy tidying up, Charlotte?
Oh, poor Charlotte. But after all that crime solving, I do think Jessica deserves to put her feet up.
Yes, and I think it's time for us to put our feet up too. What do you say?
Yeah,
See you next time.